Hey, Andy, welcome. No, things are late over there. Well, I appreciate you being here. Oh, you were playing Riven? Hey, David, welcome. How old is Riven? I didn't even know you could still play it. Is it on Steam or something? I mean, I played Myst, but I never played Riven. Oh, they did. Wow. They're going back to my time. I mean, that was 25 years ago, probably at least. Wow, really? I mean, there's been a resurgence of, sorry about that, of the puzzle game genre here recently. Yeah, that would be my problem with Steam, is I wouldn't be able to realize which ones have been remade after 25 years and which ones haven't. I saw a couple of videos, I think, for a game, a puzzle box game, I think. That looked pretty cool. Saw a couple of those on YouTube. Yeah, there's been a bunch of those things being put out and played by streamers. Yeah, I mean, I remember when Myst came out. I had started college a couple of years before it came out. I remember when I was playing it back in the day. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. But like I say, if you got something else you want to go play, I completely understand. Games are like that. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode number 49 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Bard gameplay series. I'm Commander Jarval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So nothing on admin notes except it's raining here, so if you do hear any background noise, please drop me a comment and I'll see if I can adjust the noise canceling. I think I've got it worked out so you won't be able to hear it, but if you do hear anything, please let me know and I'll try and get it fixed. So on our recap, at the end of last week's episode, we had been exploring the Undercity sewers, and we had finished up a big fight in the sewers, and we're dealing with the aftermath of that. We're going to finish that exploration up. We're going to pick up an item quickly out of this area that we definitely want to deal with, and then we are going to head out to start on the Steelwatch Foundry today. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so here we are in the ancient lair. There is a reason that we came down here, other than just exploring the sewer, and that was because we wanted to pick up an item that is down here and get a jump start on what we're going to be doing with it later, and that right here is the jar of Mystic Carrion's brains. So it's a canopic jar that has Mystic Carrion's brain in it, and it's immune to everything except fire damage. and it's vulnerable to fire damage. We're going to pick this up.
Maybe I need more pockets. This jar feels like death itself. A sure sign of necromancy at work.
Okay, and that jar here is marked as a quest item. It's marked that way for a specific reason. So we're going to go ahead and send that off to camp. And then we're going to do some exploration here inside
I'm ready.
this room real quick.
Have a lot on
And
my
I can't
mind.
remember what the DC
And,
is
well,
on this, so we'll just
in it.
check it. Okay. And in here we have Mystic Carrion's liver. Again, another quest item marked jar. So we're going to send that off to camp. You're going to get some really good elixirs down here as well. So make sure you pick those up.
What's in here? Best be on my way.
And I don't think... Oh, it is available again.
In nocte concilium.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Carrion offered shelter, safety. I was desperate. Mystic Carrion, medium, monster, liar. Bland, hollow, emptied, alive, was still alive. A ritual, just hidden in flesh. I failed, died too quickly. Promised better life, given only death.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, so we're learning a little more about Mystic Carrion, and that is really not a good person at all. And we're going to learn more about Mystic Carrion as we get farther into a quest chain later on. For now, I'm just going to do a little more searching down here, and we'll be
That'll
done.
fit in my pack.
Okay, we'll just finish picking these things up here. Okay, and we will head out of here. So we do have, I'm going to come back off stream And, well, I guess we can pick it up now. It doesn't really matter. What is Shadowheart's encumbrance? So, she is well and truly encumbered. So, let's go ahead and finish encumbering her. And then we will have her send that stuff off to camp. The big group of treasure crates here, you're just going to get a bunch of gold out of it. None of the ancient servants are going to have anything on them.
Need to keep going.
And there are a bunch of chests around here to take a look at. Most of them are just going to have gold of various amounts. And here you have the Breaching Pike Staff. So the Breaching Pike Staff is a pike that does 1d4 additional force damage. It's fairly rare to find weapons that do additional force damage, but this is one of them. Not something I'm going to keep.
What might you be hiding?
Okay, so we'll just make our way around the outside here. And here are some tablets that you can read.
Might be useful.
Just learn some more of the lore behind Mystic Carrion. Mystic Carrion is a character from Forgotten Realms lore as well. And we'll take a look through.
Might find something useful.
Greater zombies here. The ancient servants, like I said, I don't think any of them have anything on. There might be one, but I don't think so. Okay.
A rather creative show of butchery. A necromantic ritual, perhaps.
Alright, so we will head back here and we will head out of this area.
The pride of the gate.
I'm going to check my action
Can't afford to
economy
stay
real
idle.
quick. Getting a little low.
Never wanted the easy path. Let's see.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
And this is going to drop us back into the Undercity ruins from a different location. And now you see where we are. We're behind the Voiceless Penitent. And we want to do something while we're here.
Free for the taking.
Okay, we want to take this skull and then we're immediately going to leave. Because the penitent will be angry with you for doing so. Okay, but we see that the skull that we picked up is marked as a quest item. And we're going to deal with that a little later as well. So we're going to take a long rest here. We're going to try one more time and see if Will's quest or
Always
dialogue
at your
icon will
side.
go away or not.
Let's talk.
Yeah, it's not going to. So we'll go ahead and just check with the other members in camp here real quick, and then we'll get on with our long rest.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey.
Yes?
Oakfather preserve you.
Ready and waiting.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Copper for your thoughts.
What's on your mind?
What can I do for you, my friend?
Okay, so nothing new here. So we'll go ahead and take our long rest. Let's go to
Whatever comes. I'm ready.
Shadowheart first and take... These are crafting ingredients. All the rest of this can go into her trash bag. Send her trash bag to camp. Then we'll get another one out. Like I've got a few trash bags I need to clean up. So next week we'll probably have a lot of extra gold sitting in our inventory after I clean it all up. So let's go ahead and take our long rest. Okay, see if anybody has an icon. They don't.
They say that home is where a person can be their truest selves, without guile, without pretense. You did well to see off the Githyanki who had invaded mine. And now that you have seen where I come from, you know all there is to know about me. At least, all that matters. The flavors of my favorite fiddlehead soup, should you wish to experience it for yourself. The very first reward I gifted myself on completion of my first adventure. We spoke of my relationship with Duke Berlin Stilney, a story I have told no one else. I have no more secrets from you. No need to resort to subterfuge. We are true allies now, working towards a common goal. I have learned to adapt my methods to your needs. The only way we were ever going to get close enough to the brain to destroy it was by working together. But few would trust a mind flayer. So I did what I had to convince you. I studied you. Your motivations, your actions, your desires. I deduced the best way to align your goals with my own. Perhaps, at first, I did consider that you were just a problem to be solved, and not an easy one at that. But I persisted. I needed your absolute dedication to the cause. I anticipated the challenge, and I anticipated your resistance. What I didn't anticipate was how reasonable you would be. You don't like to be coddled, cajoled. But you responded well to logic, to rational arguments, to cold, hard facts. You saw straight to the core of what really mattered. Yes, you did. Sometimes, I felt almost like we were dancing our way towards something deeper.
Okay, so if you're looking to engage in some tentacly goodness here, this is the cutscene in which you will have that opportunity. I'm not going to do it, but this cutscene pops up after you've been to the Emperor's hideout, and gives you an opportunity to do that.
I'm sorry. You're right. Now's not the time. Forget I said anything. Let's move on to more important things. The Elder Brain's hive mind has grown to monstrous proportions. And through the Crown's magic, it has complete control over each and every member. It was intelligent before, but now, with its hive mind established across the city, it is well on its way to becoming indestructible. We must stop it while we still can, before we too become its slaves.
Okay, so here we are. Back. It doesn't look like anyone wants to speak with us. And for me...
Moving ahead. I have something to
Going to go talk to Jannath here.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blankly.
This soul.
Okay, I'm going to move myself back in here.
At least things have stayed interesting. Never wanted the easy path.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Okay, so there we go.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Talk to Shadowheart, bring her back in.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm good. I'd join you, but things are looking at... Lead the way, then.
And now we will leave camp. Okay, so while we're here, I think... No, actually, I think we're going to head up. So we'll head back up to the Baldur's Gate waypoint.
So clever. How'd he end up dead? Don't see the mouth asking that.
And we'll get our party together here. Okay. Now, Kurz has the crossbow out.
Despite everything.
So I want to make sure that he's swapped to the spear before I have... It's much easier to do that than it is to take the weapon, drop it on the ground, and cast it on the weapon. As long as you make sure that you have the correct weapon showing on their back, then you know it's going to get applied to the correct one.
Alright, what now?
Okay, and now, last set of things to do. Who has this? Whoops. Would help if I put the ring before I did that. Okay.
Can't give up now.
And we need subjugation and exalted marrow. No, killer sweetheart instead. Okay, and now we should be good. Everyone has anointed in splendor still. Yep, looks like we're okay. So now let's... Oh, wait a minute, I was completely confused. I knew I was missing something when I wrote the synopsis for today. I was completely confused about that. We're going to continue on with the quest that I wanted to continue on with, but figured I was going to have to forsake it because I wrote the synopsis wrong. I'm going to update the synopsis real quick. Interesting that I completely missed that. Give me just a second. So in case anybody new joins, they're not fooled into what I'm going to be doing. I apologize for that. We've already completed the Steelwatch Foundry on this playthrough. We haven't done it on the Paladin playthrough. That's the difference. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is what I wanted to do today, which is we had started going through the sewer and we had gone through and picked up a couple of items dealing with Mystic Carrion. Okay? And what we need to do is find out where those fit in our quest line. And for that, we need to head down here. And go look at a house.
Oh, come on, Zephyst.
And you see there's some weird stuff happening. Some stuff is flying around.
What's up for discussion?
A good day to you, madam. I apologize, but Lady Jannath is not currently welcoming visitors. If you are here with regards to her recent marriage, you may leave any gifts or warm wishes with me, and I will ensure she receives them. Forgive me. As you can hear, Lady Jannath is indisposed at present. Please come back another time. Tarhun Nemonis, butler to Lady Jannath, esteemed patron of the arts. At least I am most of the time. Lady Jannath wishes for some time alone with her new spouse, and has sent her staff on holiday accordingly. Ordinarily, no. Though such generosity would not be out of character. But in this instance, I fear she has other motivations. Motivations I will not talk about. In ordinary circumstances, I'd appreciate her generosity more fully, but, well, I prefer to be here for when she changes her mind. Were you to try and enter, there'd be nothing I could do to stop you. After all, I am on holiday. Do as you wish.
Okay, so we're going to enter in here, and you see that updates a quest that we haven't updated since Act 1. And that is Free the Artist. We met Oskar Fevras in the Zentrum hideout. And we freed him, and he left towards Baldur's Gate. And that's what this quest is about, and it's going to tie in to Mystic Carrion, who we were just dealing with a second ago. Or whose body parts we were dealing with a second ago, I should say. Once you get inside Lady Jannath's estate, you can see that something's seriously wrong. Not entirely sure what it is yet, but we're going to bring everybody in here. Means you too, Shadowheart. Okay, we're going to break our group, and we're going to take our bard a little bit farther in here. And now, once you get close, the see invisibility granted us by Volo's Eye is going to start revealing some enemies. You can see that some more were revealed up top. In here. Okay, so we're going to make our way up here. And we have these poltergeists that are up here. Now they are already hostile, so if they see us, they are going to immediately attack. So we want to try and get off the attacks first, and this is where having Volo's Eye becomes so useful during this, is because what will happen during their fight, or during the fights with them, is that they will go invisible, and then they will throw various items at you, like chairs and tables, and that sort of stuff. And if you don't have a way to detect invisibility, you're just going to sit there and get chewed up by flying furniture. So having the ability to see invisibility as a always-on condition is incredibly useful for us here. And you can see we're getting a bunch of poltergeists that are failing saving throws. And that's because down below here, we have two rooms, one on either side. And there are poltergeists inside those rooms as well. So moving around back here is going to help reveal them also. Now I'm going to see if I can get a surprise round here, and I'm going to do that because looking at them, they're immune to necrotic damage. So reapplying Hex isn't going to do any good throughout any of these undead fights. We're going to have to look at other types of damage writers and that sort of stuff to work with. Now, they are resistant to a bunch of different damage types and immune to cold entirely. Force damage, however, is not listed on that list, so they are not immune to force damage. So we're going to pop here in the middle. Actually, we're going to move over here. Take that back. Okay, so we managed to get a surprise round here.
Quiet as a moonbeam.
A crit on a 15. Like to see that. Crit on a 16. Crit on a 17. Just non-stop crits.
Need to keep focused.
So what do we have left? 8 hit points here.
I should have worn better boots. Breathe deep and move.
Okay. Now, the Poltergeists aren't ever going to have anything on them, and we're going to head downstairs
Still breathing.
to clear out the bottom floor while we're down here. And for this, you have to be a little bit careful on how you open these doors. There's a chance you're going to get seen when you open the door, so you want to be prepared to move back out of the way. Okay. So we've got 3 poltergeists in here. We've got 3 more poltergeists in here. These two groups tend not to aggro together. So if you're fighting one, then you're normally free not to have to deal with the first one. So we're going to try and clear out this room first here, so that we can make our way back around behind this group over here. So we'll see if we can get a surprise around here or not. So we did get a surprise round. So I'm going to move out of the doorway here.
What path lies before me?
Watching and waiting.
Now the question is, can I get shots? Nope. Okay, well, we got a surprise round, so it doesn't really matter.
Coming
I'm
through.
gonna move Will in here. Try and get rid of this one here. Okay, so perfect. That's going to adjust the detection cones, and now we need to work on this one here.
Waiting with bated breath.
So I'm gonna again move out of the doorway.
Have to keep going.
And I don't need to bring Shadowheart into this.
What now?
No holding back.
Okay, so now I need to move my Bard.
These boots have seen everything.
Over here. That one's upstairs. Going to ping him. So it looks like I wasn't able to see him. So M said he did some testing here on this. Not entirely sure. We'll see, because I didn't get this to work previously. It's right there. I'm gonna put one blast right on that spot, and I'm gonna go past it. Okay, so they all three did hit. I think when I had tested projectile-based spells previously, maybe I must have missed my attack roll or something like that. Because these are working here. Oops. Let's go, Shadowheart.
Can't afford any mistakes. Need to tread softly.
Waiting with bated breath.
Okay, so we're gonna break our group here,
Whatever comes.
and
I'm
now
ready.
we can
Nice.
move to the other
Quiet now.
side.
Strength in silence.
All right. Got a surprise round.
Every step.
And be careful where you click in here, because you might end up clicking on one of these landings or up here instead, and that could get you into a situation you don't want to be in yet.
I can't waste
All
any
right.
more time. Have to keep going.
Time to push my luck again.
Okay, and it failed its saving throw for invisibility. What?
Forever
Just-
dauntless.
Okay.
peace.
What's wrong with Will's turn? It's kind of strange here. Okay. So now we have the basement level cleared out, and we are not going to...
Breathe deep and move.
What comes now?
No time to rest? If not over,
to head up these back stairs. We're going to head up the side stairs over here. And you saw something briefly there.
It's been a long day.
These golden
Need
candelabra.
to rest soon.
We have these situated throughout the house. They have a haunting aura. So nearby creatures will be afflicted with phantasmal force. Phantasmal force is you're going to be taking 1d6 psychic damage each turn. And you're going to take, each time you take a damage from another source, like fire damage or something like that, then the damage source will change to that damage type. So again, their resistances, they're immune to a bunch of stuff. But one thing they are not immune to, again, is force damage. I can't stress enough how important it is to have somebody in your party with force damage through this entire quest chain here. Most of the stuff that you're going to encounter is not immune to it and or is vulnerable to it. And that can make this particular section of the quest 1,000 times easier. So here inside this room, there's a contractor's record here.
That's curious.
And it talks about the fact that there's a sliding door concealed to a cubby inside the atelier. And we're going to be needing to find that hidden cubicle here in a little bit. But for now, we're going to head over here. Okay, and in this room are 2 more poltergeists. And I'm not going to be able to get that one, it looks like, and this one path is interrupted. So I'm going to move out of the door here. Let's actually move this way. Oh, left it with what? 1 hit point?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, so now the issue becomes whether or not we can hit this one back here or not. I don't think you can. Ooh, actually we can sneak one right through there. Okay, and then last. And again, like I said, with the cameras, you need to be very careful where you click around here. Oh. Alright, fine.
Don't waste a step.
Done.
Now we're going to open these double doors here and head upstairs. Now, a couple things you want to be aware of is that there are some detection cones here that you want to avoid for now. We're going to open up this door, and we should get shots on the candelabrum here. You want to take these out, and when you do, you're going to spawn a tormented soul. Tormented souls are very similar to the other poltergeists. They just have a little bit more health to deal with.
Keeping quiet.
And if you've kept your party in hiding, again, it makes it fairly easy to deal with. One crit. Okay, and now I'm going to take Will and kind of move him down here a little bit.
Toning things down.
I'm going to open the door.
Watching and waiting.
Looking ahead.
Actually, I'm going to close that and bring everybody else up here as well.
Never wanted the easy path.
And again, camera.
Let's step softly.
Let's get going.
Okay. And now I'll head in. And there's Oskar. And he is evidently possessed, according to the tooltip.
With haste. Oskar, if you're still in there, listen to my voice. This is not you. Please let me help you.
All I hear is the grunting of a swine. Come closer so I can rip out your filthy tongue.
Stop this. I love you, Oskar. And I know you love me.
It's your gold I love, hogwife. But all the riches in Faerun would not be enough to make a life with you worth living.
Oh, gods aid me. He does not mean the things he says. You! Help subdue him, but be gentle. He's not to blame.
And this is going to start a fight. Okay? So we don't have to worry about Oskar. We don't have to, even though she says help subdue him, we don't have to do that. We need to worry about the 3 poltergeists, though. Okay? And that's why I moved everybody down here. And let's see the detection cone right now that's all the way out here is being caused by this poltergeist here. Okay, and I'm going to move right next to this one.
On the prowl. Out of sight, out of mind.
So, what are they? Half hit points, so I didn't get a very good damage roll there.
Don't waste a step.
Didn't get a very good one there either.
Can't afford to stay idle.
I would prefer not to use will yet. he's going to have to move forward to make that land, and I would prefer not to do that, but I don't know as if I'm going to have a choice.
Bleed for me.
Okay. So now that portion of the detection cone is gone, and let's see if we can move Will up here and get a kill on this one here. Hesitant about that spot. Okay. Think this will work. Yes, let's see if we can get a couple of crits here. There's one. There's two. Perfect.
Still breathing.
So now I'm going to move over next to this one.
At the ready.
Now that it's the only one left.
Got to focus.
Don't really need anybody else in that room. It's going to go invisible, and it failed its saving throw. Okay, so see what I mean? It tries to throw furniture at you.
Don't be like that,
So
darling. Offer
we're
our
going to
guests
move
something
back
to drink.
away.
Maybe you'll be not.
You have the courage to stay and subdue him, but be careful. I could not stand.
No holding back. Finding my way.
Still breathing.
Now, not that I'm ungrateful for your help, but... Wait. Your face is familiar to me. Yes, I've seen it before in Oskar's sketches. You're the one who saved him from the Zentarim. I used to be. Now I'm his wife. We married not a 10-day ago. Things have changed rather a lot since then. Had I known this would happen, Oh, who am I kidding? I'd still have married him. Yes, I suppose I love him entirely. You should have seen him on our wedding day. So vibrant, so alive. He couldn't have been happier. Not long after the wedding, he lost his appetite, fell into dark moods. He started to avoid my company entirely. Artistic temperament, I thought, but it worsened. He became violent. Called me some rather imaginative names. I hesitate to say it. Something unnatural has taken hold of him. Oskar has been possessed. The last time I left this room, the walls started bleeding, and a portrait of my mother tried to bite me. Flying furniture and screaming portraits I could deal with, but to see my husband reduced to such a state... I can't come within arm's reach without him trying to strangle me. And he calls me such vile things. It hates everyone, but it loathes me. It's not him. I know he would never hurt me. And I promised I would let no harm come to him. As you can see, I've already failed. It's obvious he needs more help than I can give. Please, you saved him once. You must find a way to cure him. Oskar's behavior began to change shortly after the wedding. He became withdrawn, working obsessively up in his atelier. I tried to take him some food, but I couldn't cross the threshold. It was as though the house itself didn't want me up there. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't want anyone going up there. I swear it's in the walls, watching.
Okay, so Oskar's got some problems, to say the least here. We're going to
Time to press
move
ahead.
everybody back here again.
Have to keep going.
Now this door here, I'm gonna close this one.
To put my hands on everything. Softer than
Now this door here, you can already see that there's some detection cones kind of clipping through something here. So I'm going to move into this corner and open the door. And then move back out of the way just in case. You can start to see in here. And again, we're multiple levels. Okay. These are the stairs that led from downstairs. Okay, so it's a stairway that goes up through multiple floors here. But on this level here, you can see that we've got 3 poltergeists around the corner here. Again, here are the stairs from down below that we looked at a little bit ago. So we need to get rid of these 3 here. And there's no way to do that without stepping into this room. However, there's one more thing in this room that we want to deal with, and there's a golden candelabrum right behind the door. You don't want to get into a fight here and start taking damage and take additional psychic damage on top of it. So we're going to get rid of the golden candelabrum, but to do that, we need to get rid of the doors. Okay, so now the doors are gone.
These boots have seen everything.
And now we can target the candelabrum. So now this is going to put us into a fight, and now we're in a position where they have to come to us. And that's exactly how we want to play this. So I'm going to see if I can deal with this one. Now, what is the resistances? So, resistant to thunder damage.
I'm ready.
I'm going to try and put Shadowheart in this corner here and not hit the detection cone while I'm doing it. Okay, that's going to drop her into combat, and again, they have to come to me. So that means they're going to be walking right through all of that.
Strength in silence. Not a peep.
Maybe I should stay crouched forever.
Now, since I've got Sentinel, I'm definitely going to move my Paladin up here.
The gods are watching me.
Get him stuck in right here. Might as well get some damage on the Vengeful Soul here. Okay. So now I'm not going to bring Will into this. I'm going to let them come to me.
Survival is all that matters.
I actually didn't know they could fly. Yeah, the game's taking a while to come up with their moves here. So 7 to 35 necrotic damage, so I'll go ahead and counterspell that. What level is it? It's level 4. So I'd have to use one of my level 4 spell slots for it. And this is my bard, by the way. It's a little hard to tell. So now you can see the others that have been revealed here. They tend to try and stay out of the Spirit Guardians for their first turns, which is perfectly okay by me. Let's move back a little bit. Two misses. Rolled a 6. Oh, that was just 1 too small and a 2. Okay, before I end that turn,
Eyes open, mouth shut.
I want to see if Will can kill, or at least get a shot on this poltergeist here. Oof. That's the wardrobe. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, Pat, she's just a fraction outside. So we'll leave Will out of it again.
Survival is all that matters.
You should throw something at me. Okay. Alright, so now we've got them. Let's see if we can get rid of this one here. Okay, good damage rolls. So now Shadowheart. Oh, because my paladin's in the way.
Blood comes easy these days.
It's like, why can't she reach her destination? It's because the paladin's in the way. So, not worried about that one. Let's focus on this one. So we'll move back here. now let's move Shadowheart in here a little bit. And now we'll see, now that the wardrobe's no longer there, if Will has a shot.
Careful.
Don't like that spot. I think he probably will this time. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, now we've got Will into the fight as well.
Blood comes easy these days.
So 10 stacks of Radiating Orb. That's a minus 10 to hit.
Let's end this.
Still on my feet.
Failed at saving throw and invisibility. And that one appears to be just staying up top, which is fine. Oh, here it comes.
Making my move.
There we go. Okay, so that clears out all the poltergeists, but that's not the only thing we have to deal with, because you see the cursed skulls here. Now, this is what makes this house annoying. The poltergeists do damage, blah, 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 but they are what they are. The skulls, however, are a problem. Now, the way that they're facing kind of gives you some hints about them. This one is facing down the stairs this way. This one's facing down the stairs this way. Once you get up here, you've got another one here facing down the stairs this way. One facing out toward this balcony here. And their goal is to push you back down the stairs. They are exceedingly good at doing that. So they have the Cursed Skull condition. It inflicts haunted approach on all living creatures within 3 meters and will knock them back with grave repulsion on its turn. So grave repulsion is Thunderwave. It is a thunder wave that deals necrotic damage instead of thunder damage, and it knocks you back 15 meters on its turn. this is more than enough to knock you all the way off the balcony, all the way down the stairs. So in addition to taking the necrotic damage, you take a huge amount of fall damage when you're trying to make your way up the stairs. You also get Haunted Approach, which means your movement is cut in half whenever you get within 3 meters of the skull. Now, important things to remember, they're vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. So if you're throwing items at the skulls, perfectly logical way to deal with them. They also are vulnerable to radiant damage, which means if you're able to cast cantrips or any radiant damage spell, Guiding Bolt if you want to use up your spell slots, to damage it, you certainly can. They're also vulnerable to force. And this means that we can cast Eldritch Blast on them all day long, not use up any of our action economy, and kill all of the skulls. Okay, now you need to be careful when you're doing this, because, again, sometimes being able to shoot through doors is not allowed. Okay, the other thing about them is that they have medium toughness, which means that you need to do at least 22 points of damage to cause any damage. Now, what that means is that you need 11 points of damage in any of the 3 things they're vulnerable to. I can easily do that with Will, so that's why we're going to utilize Will here to clear them out one at a time.
Checking things out.
And you need to move slowly to get your camera to adjust. Because sometimes when you're on these stairs, you have to get close to the skulls for them to render in. Okay, so I'm going to move up here a little bit more. Okay, and now I have a golden candelabrum, and again I'm going to
All's well that ends.
trigger that.
Not as bad as it could have.
I've got one down here too, I haven't forgotten about it.
Should mind my step.
Blade at the ready.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Okay, it's going to spawn facing away from me, and that's why I put Will into hiding here. Question is, am I going to be able to get a shot here? I can. 1 crit. 2 crits. Easy enough.
Where am I needed? Heading out.
Okay, and this is the tricky one here. Like I said, sometimes you have to move up the stairs to get things to spawn. So I'm going to do this one in turn-based mode. There it is. And now I can exit turn-based mode. Otherwise, you can walk up those stairs just a bit too far, and you'll get attacked.
No one stopped me yet.
So now I'm going to move my bard back down here. Oh, I triggered Will too. Okay. Not a big deal though. The weird camera and pathing in here.
Finding my way.
So be careful where you move. 1 crit. Okay, so we'll bring Kurz in here.
Friendly-looking shadow. What path lies before me?
Hope he can get over this railing. Yes, he can, just barely. Perfect. Okay, now we can group Shadowheart up with us. If Shadowheart decides that she wants to join the party.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Very well.
And we can head upstairs. There's a bunch of stuff that you can steal in here, if you would like. Over here, there's a couple of things. You can read the fancy letter. And you learn that basically her mother was not too happy about the marriage. And there is a scroll of see invisibility here, which should give you a hint that we've already seen about the fact that there's a lot of invisible things around here, but Baldo's Eye makes that trivial for us. And here you get the atelier. Whoops. Okay, so we passed a perception check about the easel. Okay, it wants something to be put on the easel. If you look around, we have some various paintings here. But we also have a painting of him. If you look at the others, they're all white bordered that we can interact with. Oscar's is different though.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Now we're going to interact with the easel. And that opens up this back area here. And in here we have a painting, and you see it says Possessed Portrait on it.
Here we go.
The portrait is ice cold to the touch, filling you with a sense of overwhelming dread. So why is the woman smiling?
Okay, so let's take a look in the rustic chest.
Wonder what's past this.
Just barely past it. And in here we have a letter. Now if you read this, this is from Mystic Carrion. Okay, and you find out that Oscar's a little heartbroken, and we learned a little bit about that during his rescue, where he mentioned that he had run away from Lady Jannath to try and find his other love, or his first love. And you can hear a little bit about that in here. And he went to Mystic Carrion to get help with that, and that heartbreak can impose such a terrible burden. So she has maybe died, and he went to Mystic Carrion to find a way to talk to her, or to interact with her in some way. And that's kind of led us to where we are. Okay, you can read some of the other correspondence and stuff like that that's up here. But that advanced the quest, and you see here we should pay Mystic Carrion a visit and ask him about Oskar, but we don't know where Mystic Carrion is. Let's go talk to Lady Jannath. and see if she knows.
I need a quick word.
Did you find anything in Oskar's atelier? Is that so? Perhaps I asked too much, making him let her go so quickly. His love sickness will pass with time. Did you find anything else? Oh, not him. Carrion calls himself a spirit medium. His morbid services are something of a fad among the nobility. From what I've heard, it's invitation only. He has a mansion down near the water, a forsaken place, dank and decayed as he is. You must find Mystic Carrion. If he's responsible for this mess, he can bloody well clean it up.
Okay, and that's going to advance the quest again, and we need to go find Mystic Carrion down near the water. So let's head out. Really hate camera angles in here. And actually, can't remember if I missed something here. Yeah, there's the strong box here. And here you're going to have, these is scripted, or this is scripted reward. So you're always going to get these. These arrows are incredibly valuable. The hand crossbow +2 is really nice as well, but the arrows are very, very useful for something that we're going to be dealing with coming up. Now we can open up our map and we can take a look. And you see we have a quest marker down here for talk to Mystic Carrion. So we're going to go to the lower city central wall here. We're going to head down toward Heapside Strand.
So what exactly did you see?
I don't rightly know. But it was up to no good. Lurching this way and there.
Looking funny isn't a crime.
Okay, and you can see that this is the mansion that Lady Jannath was talking about. Now, there are a couple of ways to get in here. So, the first is you can see down here behind these crates, there's a hole in the wall here. So that is one way to enter.
Maybe a few decades.
We're going to enter here and
I will cure you of your pestilence.
okay, so it's going to highlight for us. The detection cones, you should be clear of detection cones down here.
Right tool will do the trick.
Okay, now this is a really high DC for us to be dealing with. Oh, and we needed that. Before we go in there, just in case, since I've already picked up some of his innards, and a standing 26 armor class. You gotta love that. Okay, so I'm gonna move in here. And here's Mystic Carrion. Now you can see that Mystic Carrion right now has 4 buffs. Okay? So Unbeating Heart means that if you kill him, he's just going to resurrect the next day. Curdled Liver means he's not vulnerable to fire damage. Okay, so you can see he's immune to all of the non-magical types of damage. Immune to necrotic and immune to poison, but he's also not vulnerable to fire. Meaning that if you find his liver and you destroy it, he will become vulnerable to fire. Thoughtless Brain, he has a +3 bonus to his spell DC, and he can't be surprised. That's an important one. If you want to try and get a surprise round against Mystic Carrion when you do end up fighting him, getting rid of his brain is a key to doing that. Otherwise, he's got the alert feat, and he has a +3 bonus to his spell DC. So his Blight spell hits really hard because it hits quite often. And last, Breathless Lung. He cannot be silenced while his lungs are intact. So again, if you find his lungs, then you can possibly silence him and keeping him from casting spells at all. So that's what finding his various pieces and parts are for, is to remove these 4 buffs. And that will let you know that there's 4 of his body parts you need to find. We've already found the liver and the brain. We need to find the heart and the lungs eventually. So you can also see his other features here. We have disadvantage on saving throws against his necromancy spells. So with the +3 DC and disadvantage, he's just going to land everything. And it can get really, really bad for you if you let it happen. He also has Life Essence Harvest, so when he kills a creature with one of his spells, he absorbs the energy, and Life Essence allows him to cast spells without using a spell slot. Which, again, just makes it incredibly hard to deal with him. He's got turn resistance, so he's got advantage on saving throws against being turned, and you can't disarm him of his staff, which would be something that would be nice to be able to do. So we're going to walk in here. Now remember, I've already found 2 of his body parts. I've never done it, so I found body parts before I talked to him the first time, so I don't know if he's going to realize that we found them and be angry with us or not. So that's why I separated my group here, just in case we do end up getting into a fight here.
Need to find a way forward.
You do not have an appointment, yet you seek an audience with Mystic Carrion. Ah, yes. You were drawn to me, a wanderer bearing the scent of death. You are familiar with the necromancy of Thay. I have heard the spirits whisper its name. Few books have the power to send a shiver through the living and the dead. Tell me, what did you make of its contents? Such a book is for those who make only the shallowest ripples in death's dark pools. I inhabit the depths. Clearly these are not waters you know how to swim in. I would hate to be the one who helps you drown. Perhaps one day the book will reveal its secrets to you. Until then, they're best left between its covers. Unless you have any other business with me, I suggest you return to the domain of the living. Hunter. Yes, I remember. He wanted to contact a tormented spirit. I gave him exactly what he desired, and for a pittance, given the complexity of his request. His inability to follow simple instructions is hardly my fault. If he wanted his safety guaranteed, that would have cost him extra. My clients are guaranteed absolute privacy in their consultations with myself and my spirits. I assume you came to me seeking an exorcism? I can provide you with the means to perform such a ceremony, but you understand, this is my livelihood. First, you must do something for me. Do not worry. It is of an earthly nature. It regards a conduit of mine, Thrumbo, who has recently deserted his duties. He has not gone far, but given the sensitivity of his nature, I would prefer that he is not free to roam the city. Return Thrumbo's body to me, then I will give you what you need to cleanse Oskar of his spectral interloper. It's quite simple. He resented having to work for a living. The undead can be rather lazy in that regard. He was always a simple, contented creature, a beggar to the bone. Perhaps he has forgotten how ungenerous the world can be, or simply prefers to live in the gutter. If he does not value the gift I gave in reanimating that wretched flesh of his, then I will take it back. It is my property, not his. Had I thought you were the type to shout his name from the rooftops, I would never have offered you the job. Thrumbo is not alone in his ingratitude. He has led others in my service astray. 3 of them, beggars and zombies alike. The others lack even Thrumbo's modicum of intelligence. It should be no great task to wring his location from one of them. Then, with the spirits herein our witnesses, the arrangement is made. They will follow your progress with great interest. As will I.
Okay, now that should give you a little hint. He said the spirits here within. Trying to let you know that it's not just Mystic Carrion and Ulnar who are here. There are probably others in the ethereal realm waiting for us at some point. So let's talk to Mystic Carrion again.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
My spirits told me you were capable, yet you stand in my presence, and Thrumbo is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, because he has some items to trade.
But of course, one must never be scared to part with gold. It's better spent than buried.
Okay, so you're going to find high-level spells here in the scroll form on Mystic Carrion. So Circle of Death, Cloud Kill, all very, very good things to have. You're also going to find 3 particular items here. The Hood of the Weave gives you a straight +2 bonus to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. So for your Eldritch Blast, your cantrips like Bone Chill, Firebolt, things like that, all of them are going to get a +2 to those attack rolls as well as the save DC. A very nice hood to have. The Armor of the Spore Keeper. This is one of 3 Druid armor pieces that deal with the 3 different Druid subclasses. This is for Land of the Spore Druid, or Circle of the Spore Druid. And this says that when you're wearing it, you're gaining a +1 bonus to spell save DC, and when you deal necrotic damage, you deal an additional 1 necrotic damage. That doesn't seem like a whole lot until you realize how the spore damage works and calculates. When you are imbued with symbiotic entity, you can spread Bibberbang, Timask, and Haste spores. Now, we've seen all of these before in the Underdark. Bibberbang and Timask are going to confuse, disorient, and drive you mad so that you lose control of your character. Timask. Bibberbang is going to cause poison damage, which we've seen, and produce a cloud of nauseous fumes, but also haste spores. So you can basically cast haste for any creature that enters the cloud. For 1 turn, they're going to have haste. And it moves around with you, so it's like a mobile haste spell that you have that goes around with you all the time. So the Spore Druid is really, really nice. Something that we haven't explored because in any of our live streams. Those subclasses weren't there in early access, but it's something that I'd be interested in looking at some point. So I would like to get this. And then the last thing is the Veil of the Morning. So undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and you have advantage on saving throws against their actions and spells. It also lets you turn undead, and it lets you do this once per long rest. Okay, now having the undead with disadvantage on attack rolls can be very, very nice for any character that you utilize it on. And then advantage on saving throws against their actions. So, like in the case of the Ancient Servants with their Dread Gaze, where they can cause fright on you, as well as their spells, you're gonna have advantage on saving throws against those. So another really nice item to have. The thing with them is, if you look at the prices, they're all horribly expensive. The good thing about those prices is that you don't need to pay a single bit to get them, and we'll see that a little bit later. So unless you really want them, and again, Veil of the Morning and Hood of the Weave can be very, very useful while you go through the rest of this quest. If you can get away with not having them or not needing them yet, don't buy them. We'll come back and get them later. He's also going to have access to crafting supplies. And those crafting supplies, there's normally some good ones. The Divine Bone Shard for Elixirs of Universal Resistance, and Cloud Giant Fingers, which are incredibly nice, being able to allow you to cast these. To craft these. Mystic Carrion is one who, if you're playing on Honor Mode especially, you come into Mystic Carrion, you drop your level to level 1, and you come in here and just over and over all the way up through level 12. You buy the 2 Cloud Giant Fingers that he's going to constantly restock. You buy it, level up, and you do that for all of them. Now that's going to cost you more than 1,600 gold, so you would be better off raising his attitude to do that. But that's going to give you a lot of Cloud Giant Fingers to be able to craft Elixirs of Cloud Giant Strength. Those give you a 27 strength. And that's what we're going to be swapping over some of our strength-based characters to in our Honor Mode playthrough. Right now, we're using Hill Giant, which gets us to 21. This would get us to 27, so we'd have another +3 bonus to damage on top of all of that. So, very, very useful stuff here from him, but don't buy these 3 items. Okay, so now we're going to close this door behind us. And we're going to bring everybody back together in here and head upstairs. Okay, now there's a set of double doors here.
I don't need any attention.
we've got full inspirations here. Well, that's our second nat 20 today. Okay, and now up here, you can see that we have some NPC ghouls. Okay. And they are going to, we can walk around this floor all we want. Trying to go up the stairs, however, is going to cause them to go hostile. We want to go upstairs and we want to clear them out. So we're going to do that. Now, as we get closer to the stairs, we might get a cutscene with one or either of them here.
Maybe a few discounts.
Swift as my feet can carry me. This calls for careful footwork.
Not allowed up. Must go down. Customers downstairs.
Okay. And that's going to drop us into combat. Now, everybody else is still out. The detection cones are not overlapping us, which is good for me. This is what I wanted to have happen. So, with only 22 hit points, they are immune to poison. They are not immune to necrotic. So let's use a slashing flourish here. We'll use another one. And then hopefully we'll get our kill here. Now we're going to move up the stairs.
Have to keep going.
Now you can see we have a clear path for everybody else to get up here.
Quiet as a moonbeam.
So Thenar is aghast. He's not a ghoul. So we want to focus him because we want to get rid of his... getting rid of the Sacred Defiance aura would be nice, but it's more his Nauseous Fumes ability that he's going to pop out on his next turn that we definitely want to get rid of. But let's see if we can do that with Kurz instead.
These boots have seen everything.
Because we do have some Divine Smites on tap here. And I believe I can get back in there. I can. Goes the dynamite.
Keeping quiet.
And now we'll do some cleanup work. Cleanup work with Will here. So I'm hoping I can kill this one with 2. And put my third one over here. A crit on Carpal, which is him, I believe, which is good. Okay, well, I can just kill them both flat out. That build is crazy. That build is just crazy. Okay, so now our upper floor is clear.
I've got a long road ahead.
Okay, we can search them. We're not going to
Worth
find a
grabbing.
whole lot of stuff, if anything, on them. Okay, you are going to find a red carmine mask up here. It's light armor, gives you dexterity saving throws +1. There's a story behind those, which we will learn later.
Onward in her name.
Okay, and now here we want to make sure that we have our perception gear on.
There's death magic
Okay.
embedded in this portrait.
So we perceived a beggar's portrait. Now there's also, I believe, an Arcana check here. It's pretty high. It's a DC 15. And he rolled well. And that gives you Thrumbo's note. So Thrumbo's note talks about when he was getting ready to leave Carrion's service. He said he was going to buy a small boat and going to row to freedom. Spread out and hide until tomorrow night and then meet me at the usual spot on the beach. Okay, and that's going to update the Find Mystic Carrion servant. They're to meet at the beach. Okay. So the wooden chest here is going to have some decent potions in it. And there is a book about exorcisms. That Thrumbo has written, which will give you a little hint about what
Never a dull moment.
Thrumbo might be up to in the future.
Have to keep going.
So we're going to head back downstairs. And we're going to go over here to these double doors. So there are more stuff you can learn about Mystic Carrion, and really not a good person, not a good undead. Okay, DC 15. And now we enter into this horrific room.
That smell. These corpses aren't the freshest.
Okay. So, and again, the camera angles in here are something to be watched for. And then here you can see we have a stone wall that's hidden. You can see on our mini map. Okay, and this takes us down an iron ladder. Okay, I'm gonna break my group.
That's a friendly looking shadow.
Okay, I'm gonna take the ladder down. It puts us into this room here, and there's a hatch. Okay. This takes us down into the basement of Phil Graves' mansion. I like to be in hiding when I go through there because the detection cones kind of overlap the walls a little bit from outside, so I don't want to get caught up in it. And honestly, I can't remember if there are traps in here. I don't think there are. No, there aren't. Okay, and down here, an elixir of necrotic resistance. It's always nice, especially for the upcoming fights. Some more lore about Mystic Carrion, basically.
Lair in the Undercity ruins. What was Carrion doing there?
And this will lead you to the ancient lair, which we were just in. Okay, so if we hadn't gone exploring and found it, this would be a way to lead you down to the ancient lair, which is where you're going to find, again, two of his
Light on my feet.
Two of his body parts. And something I want to look at. Sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick. Sorry, give me just a second here. I'm looking through my notes of my past live stream to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not. Just wanted to be sure I wasn't missing anything else down there. There's the other entrance that we talked about outside. The hole that takes you out to the shore. We're going to be heading out to the shore. We just don't want to go out that way. And again, other things you can search down here and all that sort of stuff. We're not going to spend the time to go through them. But there are a lot of crafting supplies and all that sort of stuff down here that you can pick up.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Whoops. I want to be in hiding when I go up here. Just in case.
What do we have here?
What do you want me to do? Arrest the smell?
You can see what I'm talking about.
What path lies before me?
Okay, so now let's head completely outside. And we need to head down to the beach.
So what exactly did you see?
And we're still fine. We're down one divine smite.
Dead or no is a bit too much.
We're not going to need it for this. So here is the beach that they were talking about. Okay. But also we need to find the other two or the other three servants that were with Mystic, or with Thrumbo, that he convinced to leave. And the first one of those, I wanted to unlock the Heapside Strand waypoint because we need to come back here. Let's go to the Basilisk Gate. And here you can see Lumbar. He talked about the fact they were undead and they were beggars.
Come to have a go. Give it your best shot.
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form, the same that tainted Mystic Carrion's chambers. This is one of his runaway servants.
Gold first, then you can hit me. Carrion sent you. Shit. Don't think about trying anything. I'll fight back.
Okay, so we have our standard bard skills here. Only in that one will fail.
I suppose that's all right. Thrumbo's more of a talker than I am. Thrumbo was going to get us a boat, but I haven't heard from him since. He must be somewhere near the water. I just hope he didn't drown.
Okay. So for the next one, we're going to head to the lower city wall here. And we're going to head north. Into the cemetery again. And we saw this person also during our last time looking at the cemetery. Here's Morbus.
Come out, sister. I will find you.
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form, the same that tainted Mystic Carrion's chambers. This is one of his runaway servants.
Sister always hides from me. She likes to play. Thrumbo said not to tell anyone where we went.
So we have advantage on this particular check for deception. Not that we need it. Really not that we need it.
You were playing too? You must be nice. Like Thrumbo. He told me what to do, but he said it very quickly. I didn't understand. All I remember is down the stairs, across the sand, down the stairs, across the sand.
Okay, so that gives you another hint. And now for the last one, again, the lower city central wall, and we're going to go south this time.
Of absolutist rebuttal.
They're pushing it too far.
I know. But moaning isn't helping anyone.
Comes to magical protection.
Good to get it off your chest.
And
Doom and gloom in the Gazette since Gortash died.
You're just making that up on the spot.
I thought I needed to go south. Oh. Yes, we need to continue on down. I think. Yes, it's down here. I don't want to get too close here. I think this is probably going to trigger this, but we'll see. Yeah, it did.
Yes. Arms for the poor?
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form, the same that tainted Mystic Carrion's chambers. This is one of his runaway servants.
Anything you can spare for a humble beggar? Thrumbo? Is he in trouble? Yes, what an excellent idea.
Thrumbo had a plan. He was going to find us an abandoned house. Somewhere to hide away from Carrion.
Okay, so we did trigger the explosion here, and a Raj is waiting for us. We might as well take care of this while we're here.
Oh, my silk. What are the chances? It's you. Forgive the mess. Your blood is far more volatile than I'd anticipated. It's a breakthrough in the sanguine arts, the likes of which the world has never seen. The Grand Matriarch will have no choice but to restore House Ablodra after I present her with my research. But listen to me, rabbiting on about myself when I have you, the prize bleeder, on my very doorstep. If you'd come inside, we could discuss something far more exciting than drow politics. Not if you lead me first.
Okay, so that got our inspiration back that we had lost previously.
That's curing the wine.
I'm gonna pass a perception check for a key.
Ah, a cozy little spot, isn't it? These four walls have witnessed greater alchemical triumphs than the keep of Erngarth Durand. And now that you're here, the crown jewel of my research is soon to be faceted. All you have to do is drink Formula Gruner. Well, yes, Formulae Arcu through Fruac were spectacular failures. But Gruner is different. Believe me. When you first entered this home, you saw the incredible latent power within your blood exposed in all its nuances. Formula Gruner will unleash that power within you. Risky, but, safe.
I think a firm no thank you is in order. Very firm.
Okay, so you have a choice here on how to play this. You can take the formula here. If you do, then you have no choice but to take it. You cannot leave the house without Araj becoming hostile. If you don't say that you're going to take it, you can come back and do it again later. The formula gives you a buff, quote unquote, that gives you something called volatile blood. So whenever you take damage and your blood spills on the ground around you, that blood can be exploded with fire. Your blood becomes like any other alcohol surface or something like that. So it can be situationally interesting when you use it, but not really the greatest thing in the world. So we're gonna come back and deal with it later.
Not even for the betterment of the alchemical arts the realm
Okay,
over.
well, she's gonna be angry about
Not even
it.
for that.
Okay, but now we can
Leave
come
the
back
ash
and
can be
deal with it
repurposed.
later.
Some of it, at least.
Okay, so we've talked to all of the servants, and now we need to head back to Heapside Strand. And we're looking for a mansion that is down the stairs. And across the sand. Probably looking for this. But something's going to happen. when we head down here, because we have not been down to the beach yet.
Hells, not these again.
You can see that we've been ambushed by Sahagin here. Right? Now, they are all wet, which means that they are taking double damage from cold and lightning. And that's why we left the rest of our group kind of back here a ways.
Maybe a few dead cats.
This way.
Okay, so let's see if we can move up here to this corner. Because we're not going to be able to go into hiding here. But we can go into hiding here. No. Pathing. Okay, and now Shadowheart has Call Lightning available to her. Okay, and we can reach out and touch. So we're 1 pixel away from being able to get them both. Okay, so we have some regular Sahagin. We also have Sahagin champions and hunters. So it looks like I can get these two, but I'm going to have to move to get them. Yep. So let's do this instead.
Ready. Unseen.
Let's drop darkness. And get rid of some of these detection cones.
Cloak and dagger.
See if Shadowheart can move up any more. Okay, so I'm going to be able to move into here, but I'm probably not going to be able to cast this out of it, is my guess. Probably going to say that I can't see him. Oh no, I can. Good deal. I don't think I can get all 3 of these. Oh, I can get all 3 of them. Okay, so we're going to up this to level 4. And absolutely yes. Okay, so that will end that. Now she's rolled in initiative. I can get those 2 without getting the civilian. Yes, please.
Well, so much for peace.
Okay, so I'm going to move forward a little bit here.
Let's get going. Sharp as ever.
Again, do the same thing with Will.
Move ahead.
Every step counts.
And last,
these boots have seen everything.
Not least,
don't want to draw any attention. Light on my feet.
so we have one more Sahagin Hunter left. Okay, so we're going to move forward here just a little bit.
What should I do?
And remember, Hunger of Hadar does cold damage. So taking double damage from Hunger of Hadar, I'm going to take a short rest after this anyway. So that was just a free 24 damage, and it kept him way back there.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Easy enough.
Thank you for cutting those creatures down, truly. Gods know what would have happened if you weren't here.
Okay, and we're going to get a reward from the civilians down here for helping them out. Let's put away our crafting supplies here. We'll just move all of these things over to Shadow Heart real quick. Get rid of my encumbrance problem. All good. So now we're going to head up here to these double doors. Now here, there's no detection cones that are going to overlap you. I don't think. I don't think they come up this far. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so yeah, just barely. Let's get everybody inside. Close the doors. Okay, and now look around. Nothing in particular. So there is a hatch key up here on top. And we'll click on the wardrobe.
Leave me be. What are you doing in here?
The man's stench is unmistakable. Death, decay, despair. This must be Thrumbo, the runaway Mystic Carrion was so eager for you to retrieve.
This is my spot. Go on, find your own. Mystic Carrion? You're working for him? Oh no. No, no. I knew he wouldn't let us leave in peace. You don't have to help him. He's the one you should be after, not me. You've met him. How can you need more justification than that? He murdered me. Murdered my friends. Snatched us right up from the dockside and made us these things. Monsters. Fit for cutting and grinding and desecrating the dead. He constantly abuses us. Makes us do the worst things you can imagine. There used to be 5 of us. My friend Dallas, he couldn't take it anymore. One day, I saw him drive a coffin nail right through Carrion's skull. Then another, and another. We thought he had done it. Freed us all. Then when dawn came, Talus seized up suddenly like something had got a grip of him. We ran to help, but he just exploded. I got so much blood and pulp in my eyes. When I looked back, Carrion was just stood there, completely unharmed. We'd have to stop him resurrecting somehow. But I don't know how. Since Talus died, I've been watching Carrion, trying to figure out his secret, and I think he's a mummy lord. After Talus died, Carrion blindfolded me and took me into a strange place. A foul and ancient place. Somewhere the living wouldn't dare to tread. Down there, he showed me a jar. Said it contained the secret to eternal life. And if I behaved, he would share it with me. I think it was his heart. I'm not stupid. I know what he did to my friend. Gods, how I'd love to smash that bastard jar. That's how you kill mummy lords, you know. I'm not sure, but in the house, beneath Carrion's salon, there's a chamber. He never lets anyone down there, so it must be hiding something important. Perhaps it's there. But be careful if you return to Carrion. He'll know you spoke to me. Make sure he doesn't see or smell you. He'll turn you into one of us, and he'll know I sent you. I don't want to die like Talus did. I want to live. Well, you know what I mean. No matter.
Okay, so this is going to start the quest to end Mystic Carrion's immortality. So we found one of his jars, but it's not his heart. Okay, we've actually found two already. And there is, back where we were,
on my way.
okay, in the ancient lair, there is a book here. Funerary jar form and function. Okay, and if you read this, it says that it's describing a ritual where you seal spirit-infused organs inside urns and hiding them. A brilliant idea. Where better to hide such precious treasure than inside the body of a guardian who doesn't even know it's there?
A jar that grants immortality, hidden inside a zombie. It's almost poetic.
Okay, and that's going to advance the quest. We found a note and learned that he's putting jars within his zombie servants. We need to tell Thrumbo. We can head back to Heapside Strand. Not that way.
You came back. Please, tell me you found a way to destroy Mystic Carrion. What? His rotten heart was inside of me this whole time. Get it out. I have to get it out.
Okay, and he coughed it up.
That slimy bastard. He hid it in me the whole time. Please, take that foul thing and grind it to dust.
Okay, and we are certainly going to do that. Wanted to look for something else. Okay. But for now, we will send it to camp. Remember, he had 4 buffs. We have found 3 of them. The 4th one, we're going to go back to the cemetery.
If you had to pick one for a night of passion,
The one with brighten up a loved one's grave with a bouquet, freshly picked.
And good. She is... The Mortarch is moved away.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, and then we're in here in the mortuary cellar.
Moving in.
And if we move around to this side, we can see it glowing. His lungs are here on the table.
Useful. Better not be cursed.
Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to... fast travel out of there so I don't take a chance
What am I to do?
Where am I needed?
of popping out in sight of somebody.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
And I'm gonna head to camp. One, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so while I'm here, why don't I... got a lot of arrows, which is great.
Sing a song of Baldur, who founded Baldur's Gate. Empire golden, built on trade, could not avert his fate.
Don't need that here, don't need that here. Okay, I'll do some inventory management off, more inventory management off screen, or off stream. That's good enough. Okay, so now the jars. There's a problem with these jars in that you can't just drop them on the ground and destroy them. You're going to run into some problems if you do that. And I'll show you why. So we're going to head back in here right where we were, just because this is a nice safe area.
I'll give it a shot.
In which to do this. But you don't have to be here. Okay, and I'm going to take all 4 of the jars. Alright, I'm going to move everybody back here. Now again, I have the spell rot condition, remember, so I don't want to be casting spells down here. However, cantrips don't count. Okay, you can cast all the cantrips that you want, and for that, I'm going to use Shadow Heart. And remember, they're vulnerable to fire damage. So let's hit his heart just to start this thing off. Now you see why you don't want to just drop those on the ground anywhere and destroy them. They do 8d6, I think, fire damage. So it's like casting the fireball spell every time you hit one.
No one back home.
And they will set each other off like that. So it can lead to a rather large and rather damaging explosion that you really don't want to be a part of. So we have destroyed his heart. We've also destroyed the other jars, which means we've removed all of his buffs. And now we can go after Mystic Carrion himself. So for that, we're going to go to the central wall and make our way south again.
Don't waste a step.
Now, Thrumbo told us that Mystic Carrion would know that we had talked to him. And he would be upset about that fact. So we don't want to let Mystic Carrion see us here. And we're going to check our gear and make sure that we are all set up here. Make sure we've got everything on that we need. Yes, it looks like we do. And we're going to go in here and try and get a surprise round on Mystic Carrion. Okay, the door's closed again, which because we closed it when we left. Okay. Now you can see where the detection cones are, and you can see that Mystic Carrion is hostile. Okay, so we're not going to be able to just go in there. But we're going to try and get a surprise round here. Okay, now if we look at Mystic Carrion now, you can see that he's now vulnerable to fire. So he's taking double damage with fire. And we're going to take advantage of that by throwing a fire arrow his way. See if we can hopefully get a surprise round here. Okay, we did. Now you can see that there are the other spirits that Mystic Carrion was talking about. They've spawned in a bunch more ancient servants in here for us to deal with. Okay? Now we obviously want to focus Mystic Carrion as much as we can here. We're going to have to be dealing with some detection cones, though. And the way we're going to deal with that with Mystic Carrion is... Whoops. Okay. The detection cones here are all because of him. So I'm actually going to see, I forgot, I can now change to ranged. Let me see if I can deliver that using my mobile flourish ranged. I can. No, I can't. You can only do that with an action. So, but we can still use our mobile flourish ranged to get next to him. I'd actually prefer not to knock him back. I forgot about that part.
What's next, I wonder?
So let's instead have Shadowheart deliver it. Like we planned.
I see a way.
Okay, you see that's going to knock out a bunch of the detection cones. Okay, and we need to now get rid of that ancient servant if we're going to progress much further.
I won't give in.
But first, I'm just going to move into the room here.
What now? Should mind my step.
Okay, and now I don't know if a jump is going to take me into combat here or not. It's a good chance it probably is. But I've got a surprise round anyway. It didn't. So... let's move up here and get rid of this detection cone. And I forgot to short rest. Good job. Well done.
Two steps at a time.
Easy as that. Okay, so that eliminates the major problem that we're going to have here in this fight. Is his necromancy spells. So getting rid of him in the first round is essential to minimizing the damage that you're going to take. Now we have free reign to deal with the rest of these how we want. Now again, the Ancient Servants have a Dread Gaze ability, I think it's called, that can cause fear in your party members. That's why we all have Thoroughly Stuffed, is because we are not able to be frightened. So we are immune to the vast majority of their debilitating attacks, and we can now just deal with their melee attacks, which is quite easy for us to do. Now I'm going to get everybody kind of bunched up a little bit because we're going to be casting darkness on our next turn.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Need to act fast.
So Shadowheart's not in combat yet.
On I go.
Oh, yes, she is. She just doesn't need to be in hiding.
Got to press on.
Where do I go from here?
This is my time.
Okay, so now let's see if we can maybe get rid of this one. We're gonna group up and get ready for darkness next turn. Okay, so he's outside of my range for now, so if he attacks my bard, or if he moves closer to me, I should trigger Sentinel. Or Polar Master, either one. Okay, so we are definitely going to... And actually, he's within melee range already, so he's not going to... Yeah. Now I won't be able to trigger Sentinel from there. But either way, we're casting darkness on everybody. So now I don't have to worry about an attack of opportunity. And I'm outside of his. So one way or another, he's going to have to move toward one of us. And I'm going to get a free attack out of it.
Let's finish this.
Okay, we're also going to get Shadowheart up here.
On the victor's path.
Ooh, he's dead. Okay, 5 hit points left. Okay, there's Polar Master. Okay, so we knocked this one prone, not that it matters with us. Okay, we'll move back just a little bit. See if we can provoke Sentinel.
This is my time.
Okay, so they rolled high here, so let's pop a shield. More reverberation, knocked him prone. That's a problem for him. Problem for him. Now let's see if we can move in here. Ouch. I love reverberation builds.
Talk to me.
Carrion's
All right.
gone. I can't feel a single trace of
Easy peasy. So that worked out really well. Obviously, not a single point of damage taken. And Mystic Carrion gone in one turn. So the corpse rose over here is very valuable.
I'll take that.
But while we're waiting,
much
we're going to
farther
have
can
some
I go?
visitors. So all of the beggars have come down. We're waiting for one more. Is he not going to come down until I search Mystic Carrion?
You did
There
it.
he is.
He's gone. He's really gone. I don't know how to thank you. We can finally be free. Here, please take this. I think it's valuable. And I won't need it. Not now Carrion's gone. I don't know how to do exorcisms yet, but feel free to look through Carrion's records. Perhaps you'll find something of use there. Yes. I think I'll pick up where Carrion left off. A city like this needs a medium.
Okay, so he gives us the Cryptlord ring, and now you can see that he is going to be selling Mystic Carrion's items. However, now we don't have a scripted chance for the Cloud Giant finger. So now it's going to be a random selection, which you can still get it from him. It's just not every single time. Okay, but you are going to be getting a lot of the same necrotic damage spells that you were getting and poison damage spells that you were getting earlier. So he now takes over that spot. So you're not really losing anything, so to speak. And then we picked up the Cryptlord ring. And this has create undead once per long rest. You can raise a corpse as a heinous mummy that fights by your side. The target must be a medium or small corpse, and they last until long rest or until their hit points run out. So a great way to, if you have a collection of dead bodies somewhere, which we do have a lot of dead bodies laying around, you can go raise one at the start of every one of your long rests and have a follower constantly with you. Followers are going to become a lot more important when we get into the big boss fights here in Act 3. Having more people around you is always a good thing in those, so that ring becomes very, very useful. And now we're going to go back and search Mystic Carrion here.
What's hiding here?
If he does, Thrumbo will
And this is why I said don't buy any of these items, because he will drop all 3 of them for free after you're done. He's also going to drop his staff, the Staff of Cherished Necromancy, and here's why it would be nice to be able to disarm him of this staff. Because creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against your necromancy spells. So again, he just lands every spell that he casts because of his buffs and or the gear that he has. This and the Staff of Heightened Necromancy, which you get from the Circus of the Last Days if you decide to kill her, are some of the best necromancy gear items in the game. If you set up a necromancer that has the dual wielding feat and can wield both of those staves, it's incredibly powerful. So when the wielder kills a hostile creature, they get life essence. So again, this is what's giving you that life essence and allowing you to cast any necromancy spell without consuming a spell slot. So every time you get a kill, you're going to have a free necromancy spell of any level that you can cast for free. Okay, so some incredibly valuable things.
Suppose Carrion does come back. What then?
He's never coming back, Lombard. He's banished for good.
The pride of the gate.
Okay, and I am... Right now he's got the covert cowl on Will. So that's what's letting him crit on a 15. I think I'd probably like that to stay.
What's next, I wonder?
That's what's allowing her to see in blindness. But I can swap the Ring of Free Action out. And give her that in its place. Now she does get advantage on Constitution saving throws and checks with that as well. Now I think I'm gonna leave this here. I think I'm gonna run with this. And now back here in the back, you have a gilded chest. That chest is unlocked by one of the keys you picked up, and it has the Torch of Revocation. If you read the record here, it says that burning of tormented spirits anchor, Oskar, Fevris, and Baldur's Gate. So the Torch of Revocation is for burning the spirit anchor. We get a scroll of hold monster, which is really nice. Okay. The Torch of Revocation is actually a really interesting torch because it's a +1 torch that does 1d4 necrotic damage. I've seen a build that works around this torch that is actually really impressive. And now we're going to head to Baldur's Gate. Why is it not letting me go? Oh. The waypoint.
The foundry would pack up now Gortash is done for.
And now, after all of that, we need to head back to where all of this started. And that's at Lady Jannath's house with Oskar. We're going to play this a little differently than we played the Paladin livestream. And we're going to equip the torch.
Oskar! Where is he? Where is he?
Okay, and now we will unequip the torch again. You can see Oskar is no longer knocked out. Lady Jannath is knocked out. And his former lover's spirit is here, and there's a confrontation happening.
You think that one from that shop? Worry about the next one.
Who are you? Get out! Get out!
Please, Carrie, my darling, listen to me.
You brought me here. You did this. Do not interfere. He's coming home with me.
Okay, so there are a few different ways you can play this out. You can fight Carrie here. You can let Carrie have him, or you can convince Carrie that Oskar was an idiot and save the marriage. Okay, and you get different rewards for playing it out different ways. What we are going to do is we're going to attack Carrie here. And again, I kind of played this wrong because I didn't take my short rest again. But we're going to attack Carrie here. Now, she's not alone. Okay. So she has 2 tormented souls and 2 vengeful souls. We look at her. Okay, standard immunities. But again, one thing she is not immune to is darkness.
I'm ready.
On the victor's path.
Okay, so Withering Touch is not good. If I counterspell this, it's going to have a roll to see if it can prevent it. Okay, and it just missed. So I failed the counterspell. Now I'm going to move out of reach. I'll take the opportunity attack here. And stop her from moving. Oh, she got away. Not for long, though. Okay, Sentinel procced. We'll just go ruin the world here. Now we'll move back in. So we can either proc. Sentinel or Polar Master on our next round, or on our next attack here. Okay, the other thing about darkness is, remember how the tormented souls and the poltergeists attack by throwing stuff at you? They can't throw stuff into darkness.
Let's do this.
Battle favors the fearless.
A long way to go still. At least things have stayed interesting.
Okay, and now we'll talk to Lady Jannath.
Did you speak with Carrion? Has he provided a cure? Did you find anything that might help Oskar? Then what are you waiting for? Do it!
Gods, what a mess I've made of it all. My love, sweet Firelia, I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear it. You nearly got us killed. Oh, gods, I'll be a laughing stock when this comes out.
But my love, I did it for us. How else was I to put her behind me? My friend here can vouch for me. For how seriously I took our marriage.
Okay, now he's asking us to basically lie for him.
think we're done here. I want you gone from this house by nightfall. If being married to me is so awful, then you can bloody well fend for yourself.
I understand, Ferelia, and truly, I am sorry.
You may as well have this. Consider it payment for allowing me to see the truth at last.
Okay. So, we're going to be gifted till death do us part. And that gives you the ability to cast Beacon of Hope once per long rest. So your allies will regain the maximum hit points possible when healed. They also gain advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws. Some of that overlaps with Thoroughly Stuffed, in that we get advantage on wisdom saving throws, but advantage on death saving throws is also very nice to have. So, another way to play this out, and that will bring us to a good point to end our live stream today. So we're going to drop a save here. Now, we have completed both of those quest lines. Oh, no, we haven't. I'm sorry. We need to go do one last thing. I apologize. I missed that. I forgot about the other ring. We need to go talk to him and finish that quest. Yeah, I forgot about the other ring. This ring is not nearly as important, but it's still the reward that allows us to finish this quest.
Ah, my friend! I'm sorry I dragged you into this unpleasantness. Hardly the way I had hoped we would be reunited. But a true artist embraces his suffering. No doubt I'll be the finer painter for it. Eventually. I'll need a break from the city, of course. Let things blow over a bit, shall we say. Not forever, of course. I still owe you a portrait, and I intend to deliver on my promise. But first, I need to rediscover my inspiration. I think I'll try my hand at landscape painting. I've heard the Chult Peninsula has the most splendid sunsets. Remember the name Oskar Fevras. It will be back on society's lips in no time.
Okay. So... did he leave the ring downstairs? There he goes. Now he's walking away. Okay. Let me see if he... yes, he did.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
Okay, so the second part of that reward is his ring. You got Lady Jannath's wedding ring. Now you got his. And this is after death do us part. When the wearer is downed...
stealing has caught someone's attention.
I forgot. I
What
should have
will you do?
taken the trip to camp. Rolling that one. Go ahead. The third nat 20 of the stream.
Given the
Okay, so when you pick it up, just with anything that's, as with anything that's stolen in here, you have to leave, or else she's going to track you down. When the wearer is down, they rise once more with half their hit points. So that's much better than Death Ward, where you only have 1 hit point. However, you are gripped with shadow possession. And you will take, or you're going to attack the nearest enemy. That could be your friends as well. And your weapon attacks are going to do an additional 1d4 necrotic damage. So, not necessarily all that great, but I've seen a use for this as well. So those are the two things that you're going to get for the reward by doing it the way that we did. So, Now, hopefully that brings us to the end of our live stream. So, as always, thank you all for being here. I love the interactions that I have with all of you every time we go through the live streams, because without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying until next time, fare thee well.